Welcome to this edition of Miles Ahead, and this time we're looking at the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge. So Cullinan's been around a few years now. The Black Badge is over and above the normal Cullinan. You get an extra 20 brake horsepower, and as we come in to have a look, you get these sort of black effects. So you get the darkened chrome around here, and you also get the darkened Spirit of Ecstasy, which pops up here as well as part of the Black Badge package, although of course you can choose to have her displayed however you choose. And the badge as well is inverse from the normal. It's silver on black rather than black on silver. Quite an imposing car. I'm sure you've seen it before. People have had their say on the looks. I must say it's grown on me actually, and I really like this belladonna purple that is painted in here. That is one of 44,000 paint choices you can have as standard at Rolls-Royce, and of course if none of those 44,000 choices match your requirements, they will colour match for you. As we come around the side, it's riding on 22-inch wheels that, if it's possible for 22-inch wheels to look a little bit small, they do in this. I believe you can get them as 23s as well. You obviously, the Rolls-Royce logo stays perfectly upright to display that at all times. And a bit of a first for Rolls-Royce, you get red brake calipers as well with the Rolls-Royce logo on them around there. So as we come around the side, you do get these rather nice suicide doors for the back, so the whole car opens up like that. Got the purple interior in there. Obviously other options are available. One really nice thing, the quality of the lamb's wool matting down here is extraordinary. You want to take your shoes off when you get in it. And you get the carbon fibre tread plates down here with the Cullinan logo and the Infinity Black Badge logo there as well. Of course, while we're at the doors, you get the Rolls-Royce Umbrella in there. This storage compartment is heated, so if you do get in and it's been raining, that will dry it off quicker for you. You get self-closing doors, press the button there and that closes for you. That's nice. We'll have a look in the back in a minute. We've got 22-inch wheels at the rear as well, and we'll just have a quick look in the boot, because this model does come fitted with the event seating in the rear. So you hold the button down here. This is an optional extra on this. Haven't mentioned the price. They haven't told me. I guess if you have to ask, you can't afford it. So the Cullinan Black Badge starts at £305,000. This does have a number of optional extras, so I think it's probably north of £400,000. So yeah, not cheap, but you know, it is a Rolls-Royce. So these seats, supremely comfortable actually. So if you're going to the Polo or anything like that, you get your event seating, cocktail table, and you can even get your picnic campers, and you can specify fridges and all that business in there. And as you'd expect, it being a big SUV, there is plenty of storage space. But anyway, let's see what it's like inside. So this is the back of the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge. So this is the lounge seating, so you've got 5 seats across here. You get ISOFIX for the kids, and you get more legroom than you could ever want. So this seat's in my driving position and this is level with it, and there is so much space back here. You get these nice picnic tables come out as well, and you even get a TV. And of course, you wouldn't want to have to trouble yourself by closing the door, so there's a button for that. While we're here as well, I'll just put all this away. You get these really nice, this comes with the Starlight headlining, which looks absolutely fantastic, and if you watch it for long enough, you get shooting stars coming across there and everything as well. I mean, it is quite spectacular in here, and it's really nice place to be at night, because the ambient lighting is lovely. Yeah, only other things to mention back here, so you get a DVD player down here, so if you want to watch that on the TVs here, I think there's a way of plugging in your PlayStation and that sort of thing as well. You've got heated seats as well back here, and you get the organ stops back here for the ventilation as well. All in all, I mean, you would be very happy in here for a long journey. But let's see what it's like up top. So this is a driver's seat, and as in the rear, no need to trouble yourself with closing the door. There is a button for that. So you get quite a nice view out of here. We'll just start the engine up. You get a nice thrum from that V12. Obviously, it being a Rolls-Royce, it doesn't overly impose itself at any stage. So you get a nice head-up display, which is very useful in this car because it sort of suspends all sense of motion. You're driving along down a motorway and you think, oh my God, it feels like you're doing 20 miles an hour. So the head-up display is really useful to have. Now, a lot of the displays, when we come across the infotainment here, so you get like the Cullinan on there. The only thing, when you put the cruise control on, it comes up with a picture of a Phantom on there. So that might annoy some people. Haven't gone and put the Cullinan logo or the Cullinan shape in there. But coming across here, everything's physical buttons down here, so for heated seats, ventilated seats, heated steering wheel, that's really nice. And when you've got the heated seats and heated steering wheel on as well, you also get warmed armrests on either side as well, so I imagine this is a rather wonderful place to be in summer. And the ventilated seats are excellent as well. The old school feel continues over here. You get a nice digital analog clock there, the digital clock's over here, and these vents They're all metal, and you get the nice organ stops as well that you find in Bentleys and Rolls-Royces for turning the air on and turning the air off. So that's, yeah, really nice feature to have. And everything's nice to the touch, even like the volume knob just rotates nicely in your hand. So the infotainment system is controlled here. Obviously Rolls-Royce is owned by BMW these days. This is taken from BMW's iDrive system, I think it's called, but it's very intuitive, very easy to use. Other controls down here, very simple to use. You can raise and lower the height of the car. That works pretty well. There's an off-road button if you're feeling a bit fruity in your 400 grand SUV, and there's hill descent control as well. Otherwise, there's no real nod to this having any off-road pretensions at all. A couple of cup holders down there. You get a bit of extra storage space in here. I imagine that's probably where the ashtray goes if you've got the smoker's kit. And if we lift this, you get quite a deep storage bin in here, and there's a wireless mobile charging pad in there. So yeah, I mean, all in all, it's really, really comfortable place to be. There's so much headroom. These seats, I mean, the leather is so soft, and it's just such good quality material they've used in here. I mean, as you'd expect, and I think that's a compliment for this car. It is as you'd expect a Rolls-Royce to be. The only bits of plastic I found are these bits on the stalks around here, but even then, there's nothing scratchy. There's nothing too cheap going on in there at all. It's just a really supremely comfortable place to be. Steering wheels, you know, it's nice and thin. It's the steering, we'll get to it on the drive along, but I mean, it's almost difficult to describe. It's like liquid steering. It's so smooth, wonderful to use. And these dials up here worth mentioning as well. So you notice there's no gear selector in here. There's no paddles either for the gears. It does have an 8-speed automatic box. It just always picks the gears for you. There's this button here for low. So you press that, and that makes it a bit more sporty, you get a bit more thrum from that V12, and you can feel the car tighten up straight away and it becomes more aggressive. But there's no revometer either, so you just got this, which is the power reserve. So obviously at the moment with station we've got 100% of the power left, and when you floor it, it tells you what's left in reserve. And the speedo as well, I think this is excellently judged, because the top speed of this car is limited to 155. The speedo only goes round to 160, and in a lot of cars there's a lot of wastage there, so it makes it much easier to follow when you're driving along. I think that's quite well thought out. There, and then obviously you've got displays for heat and fuel there. Yeah, really, really nice place to be. I did a long drive down to Worthing and back on Friday evening in this, and it was just a cinch. Also, quick nod before we check out what it's like to drive on the stereo. It's a Rolls-Royce bespoke audio system, and it is the best I've heard in any car. It is absolutely superb. It's like having a really expensive pair of headphones on all the time. There's 100 kilograms of sound deadening material in this car, so you just waft along in silence, and the stereo, the starlights, everything just comes together. It is a really, really nice place to be. But let's take it out on the road to see what it's like. So, what's the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge like to drive? Well, we'll start with the engine note. So this is in low mode, which is the more aggressive guise that the Rolls-Royce Cullinan Black Badge will present itself in. So that opens up all 591 brake horsepower, or 600 PS if you prefer. It's obviously powered by Rolls-Royce's 6.75 litre twin turbo V12, and it's a bit of a torque monster, 900 newton meters of torque from 1600 RPM. So plenty of grunt, and it will 0 to 60 in 4.9 seconds in a car that weighs 2.75 tonnes before anyone's got in it. So it's not slow. Yeah, as I mentioned, you put it into low, it does change the dynamics of the car. You feel it. It's never, you know, it's never too brash or too outlandish in here. Whilst it does get quicker, you do start to feel that weight under braking, and when you go into corners and that sort of thing, there's just no hiding it at all. Brakes do a very good job, as they must, of bringing everything under control, but yeah, they do have a lot of work to do. It doesn't suddenly transform it into a GR Yaris or anything like that. The suspension does a very good job of ironing out the worst kinks in the road. It's got a very floaty, wafty quality to it. You just very uninterrupted on your drive. I mean, for long journeys, it's so good, which you'd expect it to be. You could be driven in it, you could be the one doing the driving, you will be very, very comfortable in here the whole time. As you can hear, it's near silent in here, just cruising along. We're doing 50 miles an hour now on a B road. This isn't the best bit of road in the country either, and it is outrageously quiet, and that's when you can bring that stereo into play and all that sort of business. It is so good. But you know, going back to the driving aspect of it, when you do put it into low mode, it makes overtaking really easy because it's got such power to it, and that whopping great big V12. It picks up supremely at motorway speeds as well, so there's always so much grunt available to you. But that's not really what this car's about. It doesn't encourage you to drive quickly. You don't get behind the wheel and go, oh, I want to do 100 miles an hour. You just, you know, you very much take it easy in this. And in that respect, perhaps the greatest compliment I can pay this car is it's everything you'd expect it to be. It is the Rolls-Royce of SUVs, isn't it? And you know, if you don't want a Range Rover or you don't want a Bentley Bentayga because you see too many of them on the road, this is definitely a step up from those cars. There's no question about it. We reviewed the Bentayga last year, really liked it. I mean, the ride quality in that was staggeringly good. I mean, this is another level again. It's astonishing how they've done that. It's, yeah, everything you'd expect it to be. You can just waft around. Yeah, it's a bit ostentatious. I mean, the looks have really split opinion. I know a lot of people aren't fond of them. I mean, to me, I think it's a Phantom on stilts. Is that the best looking car in the world? Perhaps not. And you give it that imperious driving position up here, it really is. I mean, you are just looking down on everyone. It almost becomes a bit of a poor person safari car. You're just looking down on everyone in their Range Rovers and their Q7s going, ha, we're much higher and much richer than you. And that really is, it's the status symbol, isn't it, of the Rolls-Royce, and they've brought it into this SUV arena fabulously well. Yeah, is it just a crass money-making exercise? I mean, that's what people were saying, you know, going back to the Cayenne and the Bentaygas and the Q7s and the Uruses and all that sort of business. You've got to be making an SUV these days to make money, and, you know, they're more accessible, more family-friendly, and they're just up to date, aren't they? I know, I appreciate they're not everyone's cup of tea and the driving dynamics are compromised, but is anyone buying a Phantom or a Wraith or a Dawn to go on track days? No, of course they're not. You want to waft along in absolute comfort, and this just brings a bit more practicality to the arena. If you happen to own a farm or need to do a mild bit of off-roading, this car will also handle that. Final note is, I expect people to hate this car. In fact, people have let me out of junctions, people have spoken to me about it at petrol stations. There have been a couple of petrol stations I have done 264 miles and got 15 mpg out of it, but if you can afford one of these, I don't think the petrol bills are going to be too high on your list of concerns, even approaching £2 a litre as it is at the moment. People have seemed to really like this car, more so than I expected. Yeah, I've had really positive feedback from it, and it's one of those cars everyone's been asking, oh, can we just have a look at this? Oh, what's it like? You know, been loads of questions about it. It has been a real talking point. But from this position here, just wafting along in near silence, it's so comfortable, so comfortable. You've got the spirit of ecstasy up top, guiding you forwards permanently, and yeah, it's everything I expected it to be, and a little bit more. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, hit that like button, and please also consider subscribing. We've got loads of videos on the channel, and we've got loads more coming up as well. So please hit that subscribe button, and hopefully we'll see you again soon. Thanks.